again, going to start another project, and I want to bring you along with me just to show you what I'm doing and hopefully get your feedback on some of these things. So I work from home. I use my computer many hours of every single day. My eyes, I use progressive lenses. My monitors are a little high. So I wanted to get a different monitor, and then when I started looking, there's so many options. In the end, I went with the Samsung, I think it's 57-inch, some G9. I don't know, it's pretty sharp. So that's the box. I've already pulled it out, it's over here. I've already learned a few things from it, so I'm going to walk you through what I'm doing. Maybe it'll help you out. I really want your feedback on audio and microphone stuff, but we'll talk about that here in a bit. So to get started, I'll just kind of give you a run through of what we're doing. I'll get it all set up. We'll see what it looks like, see what we want to do from there. Oh, again, I'm in a rental house, so please forgive the mess. I'm just set up temporarily while I'm in this place. I'm kind of embarrassed about it just because I don't like clutter. I don't like all this stuff being around. But when you're in a rental, when you're transitioning, you just got to deal with it. So, anyways, I still wanted to bring you along, even though I really don't like showing this place. But here it is, what it is. What I've learned so far with the Samsung G9 57-inch, it came with some cables, but they were shorter, maybe, I don't know, 6-foot cables. I'm going to use a monitor arm, so I had to buy new cables. The base for this thing, look how huge this base is. I don't want that on my desk, so it's definitely going to be a monitor arm situation. This is like a back plate to it, a little beauty plate to cover it up. So what we have here is the monitor itself. I'll walk you through what I've done so far and some of the ports on here. Like, I couldn't find a good port description online. So first off, if you're going to mount it, the monitor does come with this metal ring that's kind of indented or recessed. It's very thin screws that hold this thing, but it is what it is, and that's how it's supposed to work, so we're going with it. Essentially, there's 4 screws that come attached to the arm itself, which is, let me show you that. This is the monitor arm is in the box, and there's 4 screws for the monitor part that's got masking tape over them. So I took them off of there, used them to screw this to the monitor itself. And then the normal, Vesta, is that what these standards are? But it's the normal standard for screws on the back. And then I've got the arm assembly. Now normally you have this is in the monitor arm when you mount it and you attach it, but anyways, this was easier just to slide this in and drop it, so that's why I have it mounted that way. Anyways, some of the things about this: you got your power cable, you got a headphone jack, you have got 3 HDMI. Only the first one is labeled 120 hertz, so that's obviously the one I'm going to use, but I don't know if that's a lesser on the others. You've got 1 display port, which is weird. I thought for sure it'd have at least 2. And then you've got I don't know, it says service, so maybe you can do a firmware update through there. I'm just guessing, I don't know. 2 USB 3s, but they're labeled for PC1, PC2. So I know this doesn't really, there you go, now you can see it. And then just a regular USB port there. And so really shocked, no USB-C. But what I am going to do is I'll use all the PC1 stuff to my computer, and I'll have a spare 2 HDMIs or a spare HDMI. I'll use that one to the computer. Actually, I'll probably use DisplayPort because that gets better. So I'll use the DisplayPort. I'll have 2 HDMI spares. Then I'm going to keep HDMI 3 for probably a port replicator in the future, just to have to plug my laptop up to this. So I'll put a short cable on that later. But anyways, all right, so that's the monitor. I've got it carefully upside down here on this bed. Excuse me. That's my monitor arm right here. If I remember, I'll put links to the descriptions and everything, because it's always nice just to get those links just when you're trying to figure out what to put together. All right, here's my existing setup. So it's kind of an oddball size, HP 28-inch screen. So I run 2 of these. These things are not great. The resolution is not as high as I'd hope. So I want to kick these over to the kids and let this be theirs, the same as the computer as well. So there's just not enough CPU in that computer, and I'm always getting pegged out nowadays. What I'm doing with the monitor arm. So this desk is over an inch thick. I picked this desk up. I love this series. I have several of these that I bought from Lowe's. So it is solid wood. It is a workbench. It's solid metal. The thing is heavy as crap. I mean, what is that? Over about 1.75 inches thick. So I don't need the metal plates that come with this metal arm. I do like, this is a little added on, an accessory to have power outlets right along the top, and I like this, so I want to keep it. I had previously drilled 2-inch holes for my cables to run through, and I didn't want to drill any more into this desk. So what I'm doing is this kit, I'll remember to put this kit in the link. So it came with a longer bolt, and I would love to use the metal plate on the bottom since that's it for the bottom, but I can't. The bolt is not long enough. So sure, I could go out. Actually, I might just go out and get a longer bolt. Maybe I'll do that. So I could put that bolt on the bottom, and then this comes up, and there's metal plate. You know, that I say that out loud, I really want more than this holding it on the bottom side. So I want to go ahead and go out and get a bolt before I put this together. Some other quick little tips. Since I don't have much of a hole in this 2-inch that I'm working with, I went ahead and already ran the power cable that came with the monitor, although it's just a standard one with a 90-degree bend. So I put that on there already, or ran it through the hole, as well as all the other cables that I know I'm going to use. And one thing I did with the cables I want to show you, every one of these is labeled. So USB 3, PC2. Remember I showed you it said PC1, PC2. I went ahead and labeled every one of these, so that way when I'm trying to plug them up below, I don't have to sit there and, you know, yank on each cable and figure out which each one was. Especially those USB 3s, although, you know, it's just a standard USB A end on there, so when you're sitting there plugging up a whole bunch of cables, you don't know what's what. So all those are labeled, good to go. Same with HDMI. I did buy all HDMI. Look, it's the Pearl 48 Audio Quest. I picked those just up at Best Buy. I know I got ripped off, but I did what I did. So I labeled these HDMI 1 and 2 because that's what I'll have plugged up. There's that digital, the DP, the digital display cable, and label that 1, although there's only 1. But that'll kind of help me. So anyways, with all the cables already pre-ran, what else is next to know? I ran a USB. I like running just like a USB extension cable. So if I want to plug something up on the desk that's readily available, I'm using that for the speakerphone. So anyways, that's what I've done. I've ran all that stuff so far. From here, I'm going to go get a longer bolt. I'll probably go get a 1-inch longer bolt than that comes with this kit. So that way I can use that bottom plate I was talking about. And from there, then I think we'll mount it, start tearing all this down, get all this out. So it's cluttered. I'll show you what we got going, what we're going to address today. From the front side, I love ergonomic keyboards. I've been using this model for work and for home for I don't know how many years. This model's been around for a long time. Whenever I ruin one, I just buy another of the exact same thing. But I think I'm going to go with, I think it's Keychron. Somebody was showing me that the other day. It's a friggin' awesome keyboard. And then I'll use the Southpaw design to move these over to the other side. And that way my hand will be a little bit closer to the mouse. I do love the mouse. I'll keep using that. I keep a wireless charger right in front of me so I can keep my phone up right in front of me. And that works well. This is what I use. This is my mic and speakers all in one. I like having mic and speaker all in one box. It works well. I'm not really a fan of this model in particular. I have it plugged up to a USB little port replicator box, so it always gets power, because otherwise when this doesn't get power, it starts beeping. It's absolutely obnoxious. But as far as it works, I have no problems with this. It works fine. I would like to do something better. So that's where we'll get into recommendations once this is all set up, but I'll keep this for now. Would like to do something better. Same with my webcam, nothing fancy here. So just a little Logitech webcam, works, no complaints. Want to do something better. Of course, mints, highly addicted to these suckers. Don't ever get into these things. I've got my coffee warmer there. I love that thing. And then my lamp. So the lamp turns, or I schedule that to turn on and off with a work day. Normally it's plugged into a device, but I just have it up here. I already moved it out of the way for the power. But that's all I have for light. So I need to make some changes with lights. We're going to go over that here in a little bit. We're going to start with getting this monitor knocked out, and then we'll upgrade and go over these different pieces. So, yep, here's more sitting on the floor. We'll do an unboxing when we get there. But that's some new lights that we have that we'll set up, and new computer. Here's an update. So I've cleared off the desk. I'm saving you from all like the minute by minute play, but desk is cleared off as far as the monitors go. The old computer is out. Here's the lights that we were talking about. So when I'm in this office, as you can see, the sun's already starting to go down. Anytime it gets cloudy during the day, it gets really dark in here. So my thoughts are, I bought these 2 light bars, so I can put those beside me on either end of the desk versus the lamp that you see going down. And then I got a light strip that I'm going to put underneath the desk and help have some lower light coming up. If nothing else, it'll look cool, but I'm hoping that it serves a function and actually lights up the place. So I also went out, like I was talking about, I wanted a longer bolt for the arm. I went ahead and I had ordered on Amazon. I went by Ace Hardware. They didn't have it, so I went ahead and ordered one of these. I think that's it for the moment for up here. So I'm gonna start on this in just a sec. Before I get going on those lights, actually, let's open the creme de la creme here. I've cut open this box, but I have not pulled this out. So I saw how cool it was, and I thought I would share this moment with you. So I bought an Alienware PC to power that monitor. The video card is okay, nothing fantastic, but here's what you get when you order a Alienware PC. So this looks like a wireless. It looks like an external wireless. I thought that was going to be built in, but it's not. We got a regular old mouse. Nothing fancy about the mouse that comes with it. I didn't buy any upgrades for that. Regular old keyboard, nothing too fancy there. Let's move that out of the way. Power cable, nothing fancy about that. Alienware stickers, that's cool. All right, so let's move this little shelf out of the way. And let's take a quick look at this before I unbox it. So this is the R16 model. I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't upgrade it to 64 gigs of RAM without jumping up to a $4,000 PC. I thought that was pretty dumb. But there's only 2 RAM slots, so it's 2 16 gig sticks of total for 32. But liquid cooled, I think it's a TI 4070 or something like that for the video card. I don't know. Let's pull it out though. I'm so scared this is gonna fall in there or something. All right. Let's see what we're working with here. So. There goes the top piece. There goes the bottom. And here is the PC. And so there it is. Oh, it looks like some foam in here to protect that. Let's get rid of that. And that's it. So next I will finish up the lighting. I want to get all that ran. I'll get this moved underneath and start plugging up stuff to it. Well, I'm toast. I'm cooked. This bolt is not long enough to go through the desk. I've been to Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply, everywhere you could find this. I've also looked for similar ones where I could rig up something different if I used like a 5/16 inch bolt instead of this 8mm. There's nothing out there. I ordered the bolt that I needed. 180mm length is what I'm going to need. But essentially ordered it Friday from Amazon. It gave me those deals where it was supposed to be here today. And it did the whole package is delayed, be several more days. So I'm really cooked at this point. I got to get to work, got to work in the morning. Still got to install my software, and it's already starting to get dark. So I'm just going to hammer down. I want to put this together. I can maybe get a thread on here and then just call it good. And once the bolt comes in, I'll take it all the way back apart. One of the things I'll learn from this is by putting it over here, over this hole, I don't think I'm going to like it actually. So I think I need to move this down and mount it, oh I just got greasy, back over here. and then let the cables kind of come over to that hole or something. I don't know. So anyways, this gives me an opportunity to go ahead and set it up one way, and if I don't like it, since I do have to take it all apart, it'll be an opportunity to change it up. So I want to go ahead and get it going, and then I'll check back in with you shortly. Since we're doing our initial boot, I just wanted to show you the inside of the R16. I think there's supposed to be controls to control these colors, which for the love of God, I hope there is, because I'm not a gamer. But that's what it looks like. And so that's it doing its thing. Yeah. All right, so excuse the mess and all the stuff. Let's get back to setting this up, and I'll touch back with you in a little bit. We have our new longer bolt in. It is a hex head. It looks like it's gonna fit in there all right with the socket. And so now I can put in all the other things. So what we're gonna do here is I'll use the longer bolt. I'll use a socket to tighten it down, lock washer. There's a little soft type of a washer essentially that came with the kit, my customized metal bracket that came with the kit for the monitor arm. Then I'll put this on the bottom finally because I'll have enough length to. Then I'll follow this up with a washer, lock washer, and nut. And that thing should never go anywhere. Now I already talked about I'm not using the big metal base plate that came with this thing over here. So I could throw this on, but I am noticing, yeah, the camera's picking it up. That is denting in. There's a lot of pressure going on. Yeah, sorry for that noise. So here's the base that comes with this. So I could do something similar where I cut that out. I'd have to cut a whole lot off and use this metal base plate. I could even trim it down to this size, but I'm okay with that dent. I'm gonna tighten the crap out of this thing and let it ride. So that's what the bottom of this thing looks like. It's hollow, so you can see why with these feet here where you got a couple areas that all the pressure reside. I might pull those feet off actually. Anyways, I am ready to remount the monitor for like the 5,000th time. I also got a longer power cord in, so I ran that through the desk. I've double checked all of my wiring. All of that is there. I will look at it one more time before I do it. The new power cable I got. So I got a new power cable that also has the same 90-degree end on it. But the only difference is the plug inside of this one is normal. So on the old one, it's got this stupid, oh, that's it right here. And so see how this was annoying me because on the surge strip with the other devices, this is like taking up multiple spots on the surge strip with the weird, I don't know why that part's, but anyways, the new one's normal. So that'll just take up one electrical outlet, be good to go. I'll show you the underneath the wiring in the morning when it's light or sometime during daytime, essentially. But the one other benefit of showing this video at night, as you can see the light in here, this is great now, but I've got a few things going on. These are the Govee lights. This is the warm white setting. Warm white it's the traditional warm white, matches my other brands and other things of warm white. These other strips, what the heck? This is not warm white. I don't know if the camera can pick up that difference. This in person, this looks more, it's definitely a yellow, almost an orange. Like it's not warm white. I don't get it. It's the weirdest thing. So the color's off. I was looking for a way to change out my lamp. I was going to get rid of that during the daytime. It's still not enough light with these things. Now they are meant to point at the wall and I'm pointing them at me since I don't have a wall behind me to reflect off of. I'm just pointing them at me or a little bit kind of off to the sides. I'll show you later. But I did learn, like I put this strip on the front. This is super bright, but I'm running it, this is at 100%. I'm only running it at 1% during the day. Alexa, turn lights to 1%. Because this is just so bright, it is really hard to actually see when you're sitting there, and you look weird, like you got like this glowing bright light coming up from your crotch. It just doesn't look right at all. So this horrible idea, that did not work out well, but it's stuck, it's on there, it's not moving. Does that light show up any different? No, I wish you could see. Now when I turn this down to 1%, it is all orange right now, but the camera is just not picking it up. So I don't know why. I do not recommend these Govee lights, these desk lamps. I'll put that link in the description so you can see what not to get, or if you're into that, then yeah, there you go, get it. But not ideal for my situation. Alexa, turn lights to 100%. One last thing, before I put this thing back up, I just pulled off the wire covers just because otherwise you're facing upside down and it's just easier to do that. So I want to get this mounted back up, get everything hooked up finally, get it closed up, and then I'll take you through it one last time, and I think we can finally call this one finished. The monitor is back up, so we got my new power cable ran. We have got all those cables. See how much easier it is to see which spots they are when you're looking straight ahead without having to try to read it up there. Just a reminder, there was one more HDMI port, and so I ran the two. I'm leaving one open just if I wanted to plug something up on my desk. That seems fine. I don't need either one of these anyway, so I already got plenty, but I might actually do something with that. Anyways, digital display port, so there's only one of those, which is disappointing. There is no USB-C, so I don't know what the heck. I'm sure it'll come out in a future model. Sucks I don't have it. And then we have the USB 3 ports. There is a USB port up here, a female marked service, and there's one over here that's just like regular. So I think what I could do is plug my cheesy webcam into there, but for now the webcam is just going to sit on top of the monitor. I don't know what I'm going to do with webcam long term, and so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. If I ever do change it up, then I would just come down and plug it up into there nice and neat. But for the rest of the wires, I think it's going to look out good. So we or work out well. So we ran the cable management this time through the arm, making sure that we leave slack for movement. Threw a few zip ties on here. The monitor does come with a cover to go over this. So I was just giving you a quick update. Now I can finally put that cover on and call it all good. So, but yeah, I think I got plenty of slack with the wire to move it around. I'll do some test movements just to make sure, just because I don't want to finish buttoning it up until then. And then I'll finish getting rid of this mess on the bottom side. Almost there. Congratulations. Thank you for watching the video thus far. We're freaking finished. It's all done. It's all set up. There's areas, I want your comments. I want to know what you think we should do for audio, maybe different video, like instead of webcam, microphone. So there's a lot of things out there about speakers, having an audio board, and like combining your speakers to a box and microphone to a box. With my work from home setup, I'm doing conference calls consistently, so I would like an audio and microphone experience that doesn't have interference with each other. But anyways, so the setup is finished. We'll just do one quick review and as we wrap this up. So yeah. You saw how close the wall is to my desk, so I'm trying to stand close and get this. So as you can see, we got the new PC going now. We've got the office lights, which I'm not a fan of that color difference between these. So the Govee lights, that was not a great idea. If I was against a wall, having those on the backside would have been better. I'm still thinking about like some sort of halo ring that sits up there above my head with maybe an arm that comes that way, and then have a microphone on a boom that comes that way. But I want your feedback on that. Webcam, nothing fancy. It works well. If you got a recommendation, I'd love to hear it. This is that Samsung G9 blah 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 57-inch, working great. Got my coffee plate. Always use an ergo keyboard, so really want to dive into different keyboards. Keychron. I don't want something loud, but I do like that feel of those mechanical keyboards. I think what do they call them? Magnetic electronic something. Where keyboards. Love to get into something more in depth there. Let's hover around to the back of this. On the back, you can see we have got our monitor arm now with the wires running through there. I've got the webcam. That wire comes down into this little entry point here and plugs up into the one USB slot that's available here on the back of the monitor. There is a second slot in here that says service. So I don't know if that would work for the webcam. I do know that's where you're supposed to put like firmware updates to upload into this thing. As far as additional controls and whatnot, so this is my Go-V lights. You know, you got that little power for the thing, and you can do the different controls. I do use this little Logitech box for mic and speakers. It works fine. I don't have any problems, so I really don't need to replace this, but I would love to have better audio coming out. And so this just does not do great audio, but it does work fine for my conference call needs. I really wanted to eliminate this lamp in the process. I thought my light setup would do it. Again, my lights are not bright enough. They do not have the right colors. So lamps got to stay. Just from here, you can see how you see the shadows from my equipment and stuff on the wall. So when I'm over here, it's dark for me. I don't have a better way to do that. So that's why I was thinking about that overhead, like halo type light maybe. Again, recommendations greatly appreciated. Please put them in the comments. As far as wiring, so, you know, I don't even know if I can capture this, but, you know, all the wires are going through what's left of that 2-inch circle. What I did, because at this point, like if I wanted to pull out one of these Go-V lights, I'd have to take everything out to slip that through that hole. All the wires are really tight, couldn't really bring too much more through there, so I did run an additional USB-C that hooks up to the computer. I can pull this out and hook it up to my phone if I want to, you know, sync files to the computer. Did similar with a female USB-A, that's what I'm hooking my speaker up to, but if I wanted to use something else, I can. On the other side, same thing, got another female USB-A, maybe I'm saying that wrong, you'll know. And then I also have a USB-C over here that's plugged up straight to a high power charger, so I can just charge stuff real fast. This one doesn't go to the computer, but I try to have all of this stuff ran. Of course, I've got, you know, just a wireless charger there that I slap my earbuds on and whatever, or Alexa friend. And let me show you what I did for the wiring underneath. I haven't really covered that one yet. Welcome to underneath the desk. So this is what I got going on here. I do not use like wire braid and all that stuff. I like the way this works. So I have these large, I don't know, I can't remember what size these are, 2 or 3 inch rings that I just run all my wires through. If I had it to do over, right now I'm daisy chaining power strips all the way across. I understand that's not the best way to do things, but I've done that with 4 of them. This is the bottom of my monitor arm mount, so I use that included bracket, which is threaded through. Then I put a washer, a lock washer, and then a nut on there, one of those, gosh, why can't I remember the name right now? But anyway, so this monitor arm's on very tight with extra security there. Also, underneath this desk, the computer, I've been doing this for a while, but the computer doesn't have enough USB ports for all those different trinkets. What I do is I have a port replicator, I guess, type thing. Anyways, a USB expansion. It's got both C and A. Again, don't know if I'm saying that right. So I run everything to here, and then this runs to the computer with like a USB 3 type, and on one side, USB-C to the other. I really don't have any performance issues with the stuff hooked up, but I'm using it like keyboard, mouse, stuff that doesn't need a whole lot. Since modern computers no longer have a DVD drive, I got, you know, just one set up over here in case I ever need that. That goes in. So anyways, just nice and normal there. This is the wireless for the computer, for that wireless card. I use Velcro to hold all this stuff up. Out of all the things I've ever used, Velcro works great. You get this thick Velcro from like Home Depot or Lowe's and stuff. Put that on both sides. I've never had things falling off. I do clean the surface before I put it up, but it's held up really well. So some of the stuff is like, this has been up here for many years at this point. You can see why I was stressing about like the US or the power cable for the computer having that like long end that went like that way on there. So there's just not enough power strips because you get these blocks, and I was running out of space under here. This is for that lamp, so that goes over to a little Go-V power supply to turn on and off. Again, so all these wires running throughout here. You see, like, to just get rid of slack, I do things like this. So I can just pull like the cables that I have short up here through the hole. I just, you know, just pull them out and it just pulls it out of there. This just keeps the wires hidden from the backside, so it's not messy. Like I got this one right here. Just put a little loop, stick it through. Bam, out of the way. You don't see it from the other side. I even, because I have those extra HDMIs that we were talking about with the monitor, and they're all labeled. So all I did was just kind of run them through this whole thing and just get rid of the slack that way. So whenever I want these, they're there. It only takes a second to pull them out, or a few seconds. It's not a big deal. So this has worked really well for me, this philosophy with wire management, without having to get into braided cables and all that stuff. I just run it over here. Looks ugly underneath, but it's all quick, accessible, easy to trace out. This concludes my new setup. So new monitor arm use now, new computer, different lighting, the things that worked well. Of course, the computer is going great. The monitor is working fantastic. Having the monitor arm is taking up way less space on my desk. I love it. Lights, not great. I didn't touch microphone and audio. I would love to hear your recommendations. So what works well for you? And then things like that, audio board and stuff, like, are you using something like that? Please leave that in the comments, and I'll make a change here and give any feedback. So again, thanks for watching. This has worked well for my setup. Maybe it'll help you out with some tips if you want to do something similar. And then if you want to give me some advice, I'd love to hear it. Thank you for your time.